Hello class 10th. Today we will continue with chapter number 14th, banking. Earlier we have done a few topics of banking, like meaning of banking, types of bankings and their functions. Correct. So today we will be continuing with the first topic is internet banking. Correct. Now internet banking earlier also we have done, but let's discuss and revise a little bit. So for this you can follow page number 212 of your books, right? Let's start. Now internet banking, class 10th, as you know that internet banking means the banking or the transactions which are done through internet is known as internet banking. Means transfer, lending, anything which is transacted in monetary terms is your internet banking. Let's read. Banking transactions through the internet is called internet banking in order to save the time and money involved in visiting bank branches. People these days increasingly prefer to deposit money in, to withdraw money from their bank's account and do other banking transactions from their homes and offices. So internet banking is a very simple and mostly accessible process in today's time, because we eliminate wasting time going to the branches, going to the banks, waiting there, making huge queues, right? So we have eliminated that process is being now an old process. The new method of transferring or making payments is internet banking. You can recharge your phone, you can recharge your dishes, your dish TVs, you can recharge anything which is chargeable, correct? You can make money, you can make payments, you can deposit your fees, you can deposit the taxes. All this is done through internet banking. Now there are three ways, or there are three types of this internet banking. First is RTGS. RTGS means real time gross settlement. I repeat, real time gross settlement. This type is what? This is that any money which you have in your bank account that can be settled in the real time or in the gross period without waiting and without wasting any time. Let's read. It is a fund transfer system. It is a fund transfer system. You can transfer the money, you can transfer the fund, which under which transfer of funds takes place from one bank account to the another bank account on a real time and gross basis. On a real time means on the current time, and on gross means together, whole, sum, right? So RTGS means real time gross settlement. Settling the payment or settling the fund or transferring the fund in the real time and in a gross settlement method. Second is NEFT, very important. NEFT means National Electronic Fund Transfer. National Electronic Fund Transfer, which means you can transfer the fund electronically between cities, between states, or one place to the another. Let's read. Now NEFT is a country-wide system by which an individual, firm or company can electronically transfer funds from one branch to the another branch, or firm having an account with any of the bank branch in the country. Means you should have account, like PNB is there, so you should have account in PNB, and from that bank you can transfer the money into the another branch of the same bank in the another city, state or place, right? Next is IMPS. Now IMPS stands for Immediate or Mobile Payment Service. Means you just have to register your number. You just have to like link your number with the bank and the Aadhaar card. right? We just have to link it. Let's read. You can use it to make payment through your mobile numbers or Aadhaar card numbers linked to your bank account. Now, in order to use this IMPS, you have to register for mobile banking. Mobile banking means you have to take e-banking. You have to take mobile banking. Their service should be there in your mobile phones, and you have to register your number, which is active with the bank, with the bank branch, correct? And also you have to link that number with the Aadhaar card. And then you can take the advantages of this IMPS by making the online payments, right? Now, next is financial fraudulent practices. This we are going to do just this much. We are not going to do any features. We are not going to do anything else in this. This much is sufficient. Now, turn your books to page number 217, 217, and over here we have financial fraudulent practices. Now, first is credit control fraud. Now, sorry, credit card fraud. Credit card fraud, you know that credit card clonings are there, correct? The card can be cloned and the transfer of money can be made within no seconds. So this is what we have to stop, all these fraudulent practices, because this is going gross. Like, this is creating a very bad picture of the economy in the world's eye, because hackings, clonings, all these mischievous practices are growing day by day. So we have to be very, very aware and rational while making any payment through credit cards, right? Next is false accounting fraud. False accounting fraud means I have made a payment of 10 rupees, but I am showing it for like 15 rupees or 20 rupees. So that 15 rupees or 20 rupees extra is my profit. So this is what, this is a fraud which is happening in the accountings. Third is insurance fraud. Insurance fraud means that any action taken with the intention to obtain a fraudulent benefit from an insurance process is an insurance fraud. Any practice which you are doing to claim false insurance with the company is a fraudulent practice, is an insurance fraud. Why? Because you are showing false pictures and claiming for insurance, correct? You will be caught. The insurance companies, they are very clever. You will be caught. So ultimately you will not get anything. Also you will be penalized and you will be punished for the fraud that you have made. So we have to be very like clear about all these things. Fourth is intellectual property fraud. Now this is a fraud involving property that is protected under patent, trademark, copyright and trade secret laws. To be very simple and very clear in this, YouTube is there. Everyone is making videos on YouTube, right? YouTube has certain principles, certain rules that you cannot copy any other's content. You cannot copy any other's trademark. You cannot copy any other's music, anything, correct? If you have done that, you will be penalized under that copyright, okay? And you will have to pay that penalty, you will have to pay that fine. Like after certain warnings, if you repeatedly do it again and again, then you will be penalized for that. So this is what, that if there is a trademark, if there is a patent right, if there is a copyright, so it means that I have that. Like if my name is there, I am going to have a copyright of my name and nobody can use that without my permission. So in the same manner, this intellectual property fraud means that nobody can use a property having the trademark, copyright, patent without permission of the owner. And the last one is internet and cyber fraud. Everyone is very well aware of this internet and cyber fraud, that you make a call, a false call comes to you and within no seconds the bank balance is zero. Correct, the bank balance are being hacked. They are zero. So this is cyber crime, that it involves computer and a network. A cyber crime can be defined as an offense that is committed against an individual or group of individuals with a motive to deliberately harm the reputation of the victim or cause physical and mental harm or loss to the victim directly or indirectly by using modern telecommunication networks such as internet and mobile phones. So you must be very well aware of this internet and cyber frauds. Correct. So we have done internet banking, types of internet banking, that is 3 types of internet banking: RTGS, NEFT and IMPS. Correct. And the last one is financial fraudulent practices. We have done 5 financial fraudulent practices in this, right? And with this we complete this topic. Few topics which are left or which will be left will be covered in the next video. Till then, you just go through these topics that I have done with you today, and we'll catch up in the next video. Till then, bye bye.